Alright, hello and welcome back to Let's Play yet another no-name MAME game. Today's no-name MAME game is, of course, Free Kick, and don't tell anyone, but I'm running the bootleg. So, without further ado, let's play the 1987. Huh. Weird. So, I mean, this is kind of in the weird null zone between, like, video games were, like, really weird, really kind of iffy, and now when they were pretty impressive visually. Wow, okay. So upon first loading it up, I had no idea what this game was going to be like. Turns out it's a bit of an arachnoid Pong Galaxy. No. Pong. Oh, what was the one with the monkey? That was a good one. Well, aish. You know, this thing would be amazing with a paddle controller. I keep meaning to get one of those, and every time it's always like, but it's so expensive and you wouldn't use it for any games. Well, here's a game that I'd be using it for. Alas, it's the... Jeez. Hey, it actually says jeez. Jeez, that's pretty insane. Oh, of course, the goalies don't disappear when you hit them with the ball, just like real-life goalies. But alas, that is the plight of a peripherals enthusiast. You always have to ask yourself, do I really need this thing? And you always have to be a little bit aware of the fact that the answer is no, you do not. No, you do not. Ah, the goalie picks up the ball and throws it back. So it really is like soccer. I get... So I finally looked at, what the ball's been doing this whole time. Turns out it's removing the clothes of the players. Sure, we'll go with it. I mean, we have to. It's a video game. It's not like a tabletop RPG where you can just change the rules halfway through. No, video game says everyone has to be naked when they're hit. Well, the video game's right, I guess. And then we've got gophers. If you've seen... I believe they made a documentary about the dangers of gophers. What was it called? Clubhouse? Taxi Club? Ah, who knows? I wonder if that giant one is supposed to indicate that we're number one. Let's see. Button presses? No, it's arachnoid. Button presses don't do anything. Yep, and the secret to most paddle-based games is to get the ball into a place where it can bounce off of a lot of stuff, and then wait patiently. That's a winning strategy. It's also a luck-based strategy, but you take what you can get. Almost. I mean, arcade stick is good for a lot of arcade games, but it's not good for all of them. But alas, a paddle controller isn't very great. They even have a really nice one. I mean, supposedly you're supposed to use it for, like, controlling the volume on your expensive computer, but, or, like, quickly brushing through, various stages of RPG. No, what? You use it to, quickly scroll through, recordings you made, but can't use that for that. Well... Okay, let's see if I can... that's almost good enough. Because, I mean, when you don't have the right technology, you gotta improvise a little. It's not improvising so well. But yeah, as soon as this game loaded up, I got a little excited, because I thought it was exciting soccer. All over again. It's not, by any means, exciting soccer. That's not to say it isn't exciting. It's... laugh and a half, thrills for bills, but, come on. I see you there. You can't escape me forever. I have infinite money. Oh my god. What? Zamir, does this kind of look a little bit like a satanic ritual? I mean, you've got, like, a whole screen full of naked guys in a roughly pentagramish shape. Just kind of walking around. Yeah, sure. It's Japanese. They have different sensibilities. And occult witches to sacrifice things to. Well, I mean, otherwise, it does seem to be mildly good. I mean, I do like that they kind of remixed up the main formula by having the targets move. And then also, the targets aren't necessarily hard. And by that I mean, like, in Arachnoid, or Arkanoid, or Bong, or whatever, when you hit something, it bounces right off. It bounces off like it's a metal object. Whereas this, it's kind of mushy. It can, like, go through people, I guess, which is a little weird when you think about it, but it's acceptable. Go with it. Alas, like most other paddle games, it's meant to be as absurdly hard as... What the frig? It just went through all the people so it could fall out straight down. I mean, I realize that's kind of par for the course with respect to these games, but still, that's ridiculous. Anyway, it seems like a game that's a lot more focused on that, like, one giant payoff, rather than, like, constantly making progress. Like, Arkanoid or whatever, you put in credits and you knock out each little individual block by block by block by block. But in this game, you kind of do that, but then eventually it gets stuck on the top, and then you keep getting hit, you keep hitting things and hitting things and hitting things, and it's pretty great. It's a pretty glorious feeling once you, like, get it stuck somewhere and it's smashing dudes left and right. Nice shoot, if I do say so myself. But then you've got a bunch of wasted shots that don't really do anything. Keep saying I want the paddle controller, but it's so much. Actually, have you ever played Space Invaders Extreme with the paddle controller? Heck, even Puzzle Bobble with the paddle controller for the DS, but DS paddle controller. Even that is pretty awesome. I can only imagine what it would be like being able to play all of the dozen or so paddle controllers. In fact, I don't even think you can play Space Invaders with the paddle controller, because that would be ridiculously cheap. With the paddle controller, you can move as fast as you can move. Well, literally as fast as you can move the thing. Which kind of unbalances, like, every game ever. Oh, there was that weird, like, Warlock or something. It was Warlord, maybe? Where it was, like, sort of old school real-time strategy. And then that used a paddle controller somehow? Actually, no, I think it was a bit more like tower defense. Except you're a tower. I'm not really sure what it was like, actually. I've never played it, only heard about it. Well, I hope that, constant theme isn't, getting a little grating. Interesting variation, but ultimately flawed genre. That's a pretty good sum-up of this game. Come on, I need to make some progress so I can claim I did do progress, or process. I don't care, I want to hit some people. And if you keep this up, arcade game, maybe in real life. There we go. That's perfect. You know, I think I'll just try that technique. Just see, ooh, well, that's nice. Telling you, it's all about the payoff and that one little time when everything just goes right. Maybe it's a yellow uniform and not their naked bodies. One can only hope. Well, okay. I hope that's not too annoying, because it's working. And you know what tournament gamers say about when things work? Do it. No, they don't say that. But it gets a little tiring, and I think I cut the lifespan of my joystick in half. Well, that was Free Kick, and I'll be honest, I was expecting another lackluster soccer game, but what I got was an interesting variation in Arkanoid. Granted, that's also disappointing in its own way, but that was pretty cool, if you think about it. In 1987, so... I mean, it's got graphics a lot better than the early 80s games, but again, it's not an early 80s game, so I'm not sure how that all flows into. And then also, you don't have, like, the more modern arcade sensibilities where it actually has an intro or an attract screen. That would be pretty attractive in a package. All you get is this Free Kick. Which I will grant you that the light blue and the fading into yellow gradients and then the black background, it just works. It pops. It works great. The only catch is it kind of makes you feel like you're going to be playing as a penguin and shooting ice cubes everywhere, but, well, what can you do? We'll probably change it to green, actually. Actually, you could put a little soccer field in the background and change the letters to white, and all of a sudden, you've got your own background. Interesting thing to think about. Well, on that note, this cat's got a scat.